Conflict, it's all around us and it's within us. And with all these millions of years of living and our evolving brains and our evolving awareness, we still get caught in conflict. And the question is, why? I've been asking that question since I was a little girl. And that question brought me to travel the world, to explore different philosophies, theories, teachings, practices, healing modalities. And everything brought me a little bit closer to know myself. And the more that I got to know myself and continue to get to know myself, the more I understand where conflict comes from. And now I understand the very simple step to get out of it. Ho'oponopono is a conflict resolution technique. I was trained in it, studied in it, and initiated as a teacher and healer by my elder in Hawaii. And what I discovered, this was already in 2011, and the practicing, I believe this is so of any practice, the practicing of any practice, eventually you grow beyond the initial teachings because the frequency, the being, the wisdom, the life force of those teachings starts teaching you and bringing you deeper. So most people know the Ho'oponopono simply as the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. That's what you find in the internet. These are the simple definitions, but it actually goes much, much, much deeper. And the depth that this has brought me to, one of the key insights that my teacher didn't teach me, but Ho'oponopono taught me, is that we've got it all backwards. When we enter challenge and adversity and conflict, we tend to approach it from our mind, from the figuring out process. But how can a finite mind figure out the infinite, the broader, the multiverse, the extraordinary largeness of being that life is? It's impossible. So when we have a conflict with somebody or within ourselves or in a situation, and when we just keep approaching it with only our mind, we create entanglement, we create karma. You can use that word, negative karma. We create more problems and more difficulty because all the mind can do is work within its own limitations. So what Ho'oponopono has taught me over these years is that, yes, I do the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, where I'm appealing the divinity in the person, not the person, or the divinity within the situation, understanding that there's nothing in this universe that is not on purpose and on time, even the darkness, even the conflict. We live in a dual-natured world. There will always be that. But as we've seen through history, there's been people and characters that have inspired me that in the darkest of situations rose into the brightest light. And I see that as all of our potential and possibility. So when we get caught in the mentalization of the world, the mentalization of our idea of ourself, the mentalization of what should and shouldn't be, we just keep creating more entanglements and more roadblocks and more circuits in the labyrinth of our mind, never breaking free. So what's the key? The key is landing in the heart. The heart is the aspect of us that has access to the broader spectrum of wisdom, knowledge, and truth that is omnipresent, omnipotent, always there, unchangeable, and it's been there throughout all time. And the key is to remember in those moments when I'm in my mind and I'm trying to figure out, and I've got all these arguments in my head, and I've got all these definitions and labels and names and everything for other people and situations and even myself, to really stop for a moment, take a deep breath, because Ho'oponopono involves the breath. Take a deep breath and remind myself, wait a second, I'm working with a limited faculty of my mind. My mind can't possibly comprehend and understand all the layers, all the contexts, all the nuances at work on its own. I need my heart to come on board. I need my heart to listen. I need to tune in and ask my heart. And this is what we do when we pray. We're asking that force beyond us. And it's beyond any name we give it. It was before we even became. So for me, I'm not attached to the name. A name is a good thing as an antenna to bring us into connection. But essentially, this force is beyond any name we can give it as well. So we tune into that force of universal intelligence, universal love, and we bring our questions there. And that's a feeling state. And love, wisdom, and truth are frequencies that are always present within us and around us. But the limited frequencies of our thinking have no capacity to magnetize or attract or awaken or draw in the wisdom of universal intelligence and universal love. So we need to drop into our heart. We need to breathe, and we need to be and understand that it's only through the state of being present, breathing in this moment, being fully present here in the manava, where I am now. I am this force of now. It's not something external to me. Manava means I am now. It's not it is now. I am now. I. This is my moment of power. This is my moment of choice. This is my moment where I have the power to drop into my heart and tune in to the symphony of life, the orchestra that's always playing with so much wisdom, so much beauty, so much grace, and so much goodness to help us navigate and understand the dualities of our nature and the dualities that we see in front of us and the dualities that we experience as pain, as confusion. So the key that I have found that just changes everything is understanding that my mind is incapable of grasping the infinite. It just is. And when I can surrender to that, the holo, the sacred I don't know, the humility of I don't know all of the dynamics, all the orchestration of events that have accumulated to bring this situation to me. But I do know that every situation holds the potential for me to learn and to grow. So then I let go of all of my personality, egoics, mind's attempts to try to define and label and conclude, because that never leads anywhere. And I drop into my heart and my soul. I gain a soul-spective view, viewing through my soul and my heart, to tune in and tap in to all the wisdom and awareness that's there for me. All of my answers are inside me already, but I need to drop from my head into my heart. And when I come into my heart, then my heart, my soul, can inform my mind, and then my mind can translate and interpret. So we've got it backwards. We keep thinking we can be in our mind and figure it out, and then our heart will come online. No, it doesn't work that way. We need to drop into our heart. We need to still our mind. We need to tune into that vast quantum universe within us and around us, and be still, and be humble, and be open, and surrender to that which is beyond us. And that space beyond us, that frequency, holds within it the answers that we need, the evolutions for our soul. That each conflict, each challenge is creating the necessary illusion and friction to activate in us. So I'm going to invite you to take just a nice deep breath in. And exhale with an open mouth. And just let that land. And give it a try. The next moment when you're feeling internal conflict and internal dialogue that just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and knotting up and making you even more tight inside yourself and more confused and all of that, take a moment and breathe and pause and stop. And remind yourself, wait a minute, I'm not using all of me to find the answers I need. I need all of me. I need my heart on board. And my heart knows the answers, and my heart can inform my mind through insight. Insight is not something that comes from figuring out. Insight comes from landing within, being open, patient, ready, in a space of love and acceptance, in a space of ho'oponopono. Landing in the divinity of your nature and witnessing the divinity in all things, and you are one with all of that, and all is one with you. And when you land in that place, even just for an instant, it catalyzes ripples of inner momentum and growth and insight that are endless. It's an exciting journey. This journey of inner healing and growth does not have to be an arduous one. In fact, it shouldn't be. It should be the grandest adventure we're on. It should be fun. We need to make it fun. We need to make it exciting. And when we make it exciting, we learn more and we grow faster and we integrate better. So this is my invitation, my sharing, and my invitation to you to think about it, contemplate it, and see how this sits inside of you, and try it out. Because you are everything that is already, as is everybody. Millions and millions of years in the making of consciousness. And our frontal cortex, our frontal brain, is relatively new, which is why the limbic brain is always the first one that gets priority to react, because the limbic brain is what's helped us stay alive. It's helped us survive. So we need to understand that too. What mind am I thinking from? Am I thinking from my limbic system, which is just fight, flight, survival, freeze, fawn? Another one they're calling now is collapse. Or am I engaging the situation from my frontal cortex, which is in direct connection to my heart and my soul, receiving the input of my heart and my soul, which then helps me cultivate knowledge and insight, direct insight into my life. So to understand, for the most part, the majority of us, we're living from our limbic system. We're always looking for what's wrong instead of what's right. It's what the limbic system's designed to do. The limbic system can spin us in circles, but it's the frontal cortex. Developing that frontal cortex to the next evolution that we can requires mastery, mastering our mindset, mastering our emotions, becoming the captain of our life. And as we do, then the frontal cortex just keeps growing and growing and growing, and our insight grows and our understanding grows, and we evolve and we start to grow into the remembrance of our innate true nature that is buried under all the survival personalities and coping mechanisms that we had to create because we needed them. But if we want to thrive and we want to go beyond that, we have to let those go, and we have to let ourselves drop into the essence of our being, which is love, which is omnipotent intelligence, which is grace. So that's my invitation to you, my friends. Explore this the next time you're feeling entangled. Take that deep breath. Do the Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Directing it to the divinity, to the infinite force that's within that conflict, that's buried within that conflict, that has the answer you need, that is within you. Bring yourself into your heart so that you can rise into the soulspective view of your higher self and find the answers within you that you need. And they're there. They are there, but it takes effort. It's easy to react. It's easy to blame. It's easy to label. It's easy to accuse. What's not easy is to turn it all back into ourselves and reflect and engage and encounter. Who am I in this situation? Why do I react this way in this situation? Where does that come from? And those are the questions we have to ask in order to get to the root. We have to shift our focus from out there to inside. And then that is when real change and transformation happens versus just the mental acquisition of knowledge that we try to manipulate in our minds to make it work, but it can never work just through the mind. We need to be in our heart, and we need to access the direct insight to those wisdoms through the heart and through our body and being. Deep breath. Wishing you love, wishing you grace, wishing you goodness in all days and all ways. Bless you. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode when I upload a video or a spontaneous recording like this. And if you're interested in one-to-one mentoring or healing sessions at my retreat center or online, you can please find more information and get in touch with me at soulspectivesinstitute.com. And exciting news. I'm launching a membership app focused on personal growth and healing, where you can enjoy weekly live Q&A sessions and receive weekly inspirational uploads and lots of other bonuses. If you're interested in becoming a founding member, reach out for more details. I'd love to have you in our community. You've been listening to Luana Victoria Arana, founder of Soulspectives Institute for Personal Transformation, #1 best-selling author of Resilience, Grace, and the Art of Showing Up, musician, mentor, coach, wayfinder, and explorer, helping women transform trauma into personal power and purpose so they can build their legacy of joy, fulfillment, and complete, full expression of self in their authentic true nature. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Bye.